Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We've got one event to kick off here. We playing music? Come on. In collaboration with the Republican Party, Nelson Wells has secured a deal for cheap and quickly distributed pamphlets in support of the party. The interior of the carriage held a pleasant surprise. A crate of several thousand pamphlets, printed on an industrial scale, each with instructions on the voting process and a cheaply copied logo of the Republican Party. They made a hefty weight, and he hoped would turn out to be an equally sized benefit. Bear opponents in a sea of paper, 20% momentum for the Republicans. Or these connections could be used later, 10% momentum, and Nelson Wells, the head of the intelligentsia and a jingoist, gets ambitious. I'm going to go with the second one. He could become ruler. Alright. So, once again, we're going to focus on getting our infamy down and working on Canada, which we're continuing to work on. Don't go up. Don't go up, you nerds. Okay, alright. So, our line item for economic entanglements is good. Okay, it was up for a second. We're still investing a lot in the country as a whole. So that should hopefully increase it. Campaign financing. Parties, particularly the Republican Party, are struggling to raise enough funds for all their campaigning needs this election. Let's see what you men are charging. Fees, yes, that's to be expected, but what's this lodging charge? A fancy hotel room could house half a village, and there's enough wine here to build here to drown a fish. Votes don't come cheap, sir. You do want to win, right? Some money can be spared for the Republican Party. This costs us money, extra momentum. Every party can be provided with basic funding, double the cost, but increased opposition interest group approval. Or if a party can't afford to be campaigning, should it be campaigning, minus 10% momentum. I'm actually going to go with the last one, because I don't have any interest groups in opposition. We got a righteous government. Simply is what it is. Great Britain's going after Messina, and once again, I can't, Oh, I could potentially side with Messina. Our truce must be over. No, it isn't. Maybe because Great Britain's the aggressor, I'm allowed to move against them. Yeah, I think that's gotta be it. So going up. Come on. Get it. Get more entangled. Increase in entanglement. Yes, entangle our economies. Oh my goodness. Yeah, mostly investing in resource industries and railways. I do want to make sure that access to the market stays high, because obviously that's of critical importance to our overall strategy, which is that everyone can afford to buy goods from the market. Hey, speaking of buying goods from the market, can I make my gold company yet? Not yet. Can make a chemical syndicate. It's not that useful. State construction efficiency would be nice. Maybe offense would be nice. Currently 4. Okay, so I think this is still... It's headquarter location, California. Which means I think that's in reference to these gold mines. Which are... Yeah, 2 levels owned by... Alright, so we just need to wait for the private sector to buy some of these gold mines, and then we'll be good to go. Or at least, hopefully, we'll be good to go. Almost done with the BC expansion of resource industries. Very nice. And relations with Canada are improving. So how is that helping... Oh, actually... Damn. Alright, they made it. So this is what I was talking about. They're requesting greater autonomy. I'm going to say no. That's going to decay relations, unfortunately, which is going to weaken our progress. It's also going to increase their baseline liberty desire. However, while power block cohesion is relatively high, it's time for Emperor Pedro to be out, because we need democratic reform here. So, sorry, Brazil. You had 50 years. You haven't done it. Change governments. Alright, so, have they become... Okay, they've gone to landed voting. So that's not so bad. Oh, Garg Republic. Oh, that's nice! Oh, they're mimicking our flag. That's wonderful. That's very nice. Let me see. So, do I force them to make another run at the Universal Suffrage movement immediately? Yes, I do. Because their chances are super duper high. They're going to do it soon. Alright, beautiful. We will bring democracy to Brazil, yes. So, now obviously the deterioration of our relations with Canada is a not ideal situation, and I went ahead and lost my opportunity to absolve France of our obligation to get that extra opinion, because I missed it like a fool. But that's okay. These things happen. Raising concerns. The yeoman farmers have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clear air of the United States of America with a dense and vicious poison. Yeoman farmers are very happy. I can make them happier at the cost of the happiness of the industrialists, or I can say they need to accept that we cannot always please everyone, weakening them and making them unhappy. I'm going to go with the second one. Weaker yeoman farmers is not a problem for me at this stage. So, Russia, you're going after Great Britain. And Britain is already in a war, but a small one. Britain, why are you so feared of Russia? I can't invade you. Tallinn? Hello. What are you doing over here? North German and Russian. Curious. Very curious. Anyway. Potentially negotiate support from, with Russia. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I can negotiate to support Russia. Because I might want to negotiate to support Russia. Alright, election coming in. Brazil enacting universal suffrage. Beautiful. 100% of the votes to the Republicans once again. I have a free government reform. I'm not going to use it because there are no government reform options. The Republican Party rules the roost. So. Petit bourgeois would be furious if I repealed migration controls. But that is what it is. Everything else is looking good. I could go to commercialized agriculture. The yeoman farmers would be furious, but it would make the industrialists stronger. But I think I'll leave it at homesteading. I think homesteading's good. Homesteading's good for our overall setup. I do have the ability to do multiculturalism because the petit bourgeois support it. It will make some of my movements a little bit more active, but not enough that it would matter. It costs me a little bit of authority. Would this be useful, though? See, it's interesting. My strategy doesn't necessarily want multiculturalism. It would be good for the country. Like, the differences for pops are quite modest in cultural exclusion, but they'd be even less so in under multiculturalism. Second-class citizens and fully accepted citizens are pretty close to equal. Let me take a look at my social structure here, actually, before I make this decision. I do have pops that are in cultural erasure right now. Mostly African origin pops from Antillean. Quite a few Indian pops. That's interesting. It's actually really interesting. I hadn't expected that. We do currently grant voting rights to these pops, but it reduces their voting contribution by 25%. I don't know. I feel like we promised a hyper-capitalist, hyper-free market run, and I think... Is this in the spirit? Maybe I'll take a poll. Maybe I'll take a poll. Well, it would be... I could take a poll if I'd done it earlier, but Joshua Norton's pretty old at this stage. I'm not going to really... my chances of having another opportunity to do this are pretty low. Do I have the new... the journal entry that's... Not really. This is interesting. I'm gonna take some time and come back to this decision. How are things going with Canada? Going up from bad relations, but only by 0.04, which means they'll be going down later. We got them a little bit entangled with our economy. Belgium sides with Britain. Ottoman Empire sides with Britain. Alright, that's reasonable. I cannot support the Russians because of the truce. Alright, that is what it is. That is simply the state of affairs. And will continue to be so. What is this? French East Africa? And an East African communist revolt? How curious. We'll see what becomes of that, but I'm not going to step in at this time. I don't wish to fight the French, you see. Let me see. Dainam has a Cambodian uprising. That's not my business. Lanfang has a liberal revolt, which China is supporting them against. Not my business. And Pontianak can't be bothered. Gonna keep my eyes on the main situation here. Norwegian mass immigration. Excellent. So relations with Cuba are still pretty bad. I don't have enough influence to improve relations with them at present. I'm going to keep working on my other relation improvement projects for the time being, because I'll have more influence later once I've got more power block statues. Everything's going over here, Canada. 2.1. We're still only at 2.1. Gosh. So I'll take a look for more businesses I can expand. These coal mines are producing a very healthy quantity of coal. Short on infrastructure here. You subsidizing these railways? Looks like no. Portugal sides with Russia. Well, I'll build another level of railways. I don't care. I can afford it. Fight with me, eh? Curious. Now, what about Alberta? Alberta has a significant amount of oil. Railways are subsidized here. We'll go ahead and increase them. And we'll increase oil by, not that many levels. We'll increase by 5 levels. And coal by 6 levels. I am going to move these up to the top. But the railways are going to be the highest level. And we'll pop the paper mills in the top as well. I'm going to put a few more power block statues, actually, before. Actually, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to build up the railways and the paper mills, and I'll put the other Canadian development below the power block statues. So, what do we have over here? We have a Cuban reactionary revolt. And where is it? It's in Cuba. It's a Cuban reactionary revolt in Cuba. Nobody could have foreseen this. We do have access to siege artillery, but we don't have the radios necessary to produce them. But we will soon, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. So before I do anything else, let's get an electronics industry built. And let's build it in California. Let's build ourselves a little Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley's in California, right? I'll never do any research. Why would I do research before saying things? Abominable. You'll never make me do research. Let's build 20 levels of electrics industries. And we'll throw those above the power block statues as well. And that'll be just fine. And then we can get them immediately building. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to finish my electricity situation. So basically, anywhere where the demand is high that's in the United States, we'll build up more. So, Arizona actually demand's too low. I've already got a level here. DC has a power plant. New Mexico has a power plant. Hold on. Hold on. You're all on electric streetlights, right? Okay, beautiful. Before I do anything else, let me change up my logging over to electric. Where's logging? Where's my wood? Show me my wood. I should change up those. Here we go. Electrified. Rubber plantations and opium plantations. Oh, none of my opium plantations are in the United States. Alright, so let's give it a few weeks to reset production methods. Actually, got a proletarian revolt in Guatemala as well that I completely did not realize. So I'll send an army there as well. Nothing to worry about. Just gonna give us a few weeks for costs to reset, and then we'll see where we end up being. Alright. So, let's take a look at that electricity situation once again. So, we've got healthy demand in Iowa, but we've got enough to fill Iowa. Indiana, we need another level. Pennsylvania, we need 2 more levels. New Hampshire, we're good. New Mexico, we're good. Arizona. Idaho, we have enough. Yeah, they're just having a hard time increasing. Oregon, we need 1 more level. Guyana, we're just fine. Puerto Rico. Well, these are in other places. Although, actually, there's no reason I couldn't electrify my subject states, but let's not worry about that for now. Let me just... I can't filter to within the United States, can I? I'm going to have to use my eyeballs for this. Well, actually, no, because I'm not going to be having a visual to how many there are in each of these locations unless I'm looking at my list here, because that's what's got them over here on the right. All these places are in South America right now. Oklahoma has got enough power to satisfy demands there. Panama's good to go. New York needs another couple of levels. Massachusetts doing just fine. Maine's doing just fine. Kansas is fine. Michigan needs another level. Vermont is doing fine. What I should be organizing these by is demand. Virginia and Ohio could each use another level. They're a little bit borderline. Illinois is doing okay. Sweden is improving relations. That's not relevant to the power situation. It's just something that came up. Everything else... all our other places are looking okay. You know what? I should have been sorting by demand. Yeah, again, all these places, I've got plenty of capacity. It's not a capacity question. Alright. Well, that seems rock solid. So, we'll throw our power plants in at the top as well. That looks fine. So, what else are we going to need? California is going to need another few levels, I suspect. I think we'll bring it up to 8 levels for California. And that's just going to be to power the electrics industries. So I'll throw all this other stuff below. Whatever, we're doing our best. Egypt sides with Ethiopia. Ooh, we have an Ethiopia. That's fun. Alright, both of our wars are popping off. So let's get the army of New England invading Cuba. Let me see, what's going on here? We got Ethiopia going after a Kikuyu uprising. Dang. I thought the Kikuyu people lived further south, but I could be wrong. Guatemalan proletarian revolt is finished. How's the battle going? Battle's going okay. Alright, excellent. Here's hoping the war is easy peasy. Locusts swarm in Kansas. And Uruguayan mass immigration. Wonderful. Relations with Canada are continuing to improve. Relations with Peru are continuing to go down. I don't want to expel diplomats. But I gotta. Because I gotta kick off this war. So what kind of situation have they got? They don't really have any friends. The Netherlands would side with them. Can I add a Liberate CB as a secondary, though? I should be able to, but I don't know that... Actually, I don't need to bet. Hold on. Let me look at unavailable demands. Liberate country. Must select a country. Okay. And relations less than cordial. Alright, so... Where's... Where are we? Gosh darn it. Where's expelled diplomats? Oh, here it is. Here it is. So it's 10 infamy. It's 10 infamy. That's going to jeopardize my situation with Canada, but I gotta do it. I'll have to do it eventually, right? No, I don't have to do it eventually. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a rush. I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush. I can use patience. I'm the larger country. I can afford it. Ooh, rubber in Oaxaca. Excellent. So, finances are doing rock solid. I got power plants getting built. I got electrics industries getting built. So this is adding telephones to my market, which should be nice. They're not producing much, but they're getting there. We're very close to being able to produce radios. That'll lead to some big upgrades in our military situation. Inefficient agriculture. The industrialists have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Maine, stating that their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. The fertile soil of our people suffers, relegated to tired and callous hands, too exhausted from manual labor to perform at a decent level, too poor to be able to use more advanced tools that would make them more profitable. This industry is just a useless investment. I'm going to say they serve our purposes. I don't need to get the industrialists much happier. I'm running a very pro-industrialists. Gosh darn it, wildfires in South Dakota. That's a situation. Art imitating life, I suppose, is how we would describe that. Once these railways are built, I can go ahead and throw the rest of my development in Canada into the queue here, actually, because that can get done once these railways are finished constructing. And we're still bashing away at Cuba. I'm actually shocked that we've gotten them this far down in war support without fully occupying the country, but we have nearly occupied the country. And there we go. Excellent. We've nearly repaired our relationship with Canada. Their liberty desire is still going up a little bit, but it will be going up less later. New neighbors, new grudges. A minority group of Uruguayan people has recently settled in the state of New York, seeking a better future. However, the local Yankee elites are stirring up resentment, claiming that Uruguayan newcomers will destroy their traditional way of life. They don't belong here. Our Yankee customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Uruguayans settle, claimed a prominent landowner. His words echoed in the taverns and markets of New York. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunity, but face closed doors and hostile stares. The Uruguayan people must accept their lot. Alright, so... I also have an event that happens once I've got a railway stretching across the country, I believe. So maybe I'll cue that in as well. Borgu colonized Volta. Realistically, I might be able to increase the size of the construction sector further, although that could potentially be getting to the point of silliness. And this should be radio. Oop, next one. There we go. Beautiful. So, what do we want to research technologically at this time? We got radio. I'd love to get electric railway. Let's start there. Steam turbine's going to make our power plants a lot more effective, but let's take a second to look at military. Dreadnought would be very good long term. We've got sea lane strategies though, so we don't need that. But it would be nice. It would finish out the tier 4s. You know, I'm feeling a little silly. I'm feeling a little froggy. Let's do Dreadnought, then we'll do electric railway. Then we'll grab bolt actions and automatic machine guns, and that'll be just fine. So, now that we've got radios, let's start producing them. First things first. Where are my electric industries? Make me some radios. And California should have the power plants, or near enough power plants, to get started on that. So, that's going to lead to there being a bunch of radios, and that means we need some scout cruisers. We're going to need 60 levels total. So let's go ahead and build 10 in Virginia, 10 in New York, 10 in Massachusetts, 10 in New Jersey, 10 in North Carolina, 10 in South Carolina. And then we can delete all these other, all these monitor bases in a second. So where do we want to put those? I think we'll put them right after the power plants in California, because these will get built really fast. Naval bases, after all. France is damaging relations. Not too pleased about that, but we'll see how it goes. The armed forces demand the promotion of Lieutenant General Wilbur Isbell, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So let me see. This guy is an athlete, an engineer, and courageous. Armed forces, he's a moderate Yank. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Chaffee's face when the general learned of his imminent ascension. The rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last he would have his due. Wilbur Isbell's earned it. Alright. Before I forget, we need to upgrade all of our artillery. So doing this naval reform will make our navies a lot stronger. That's going to give us a buff to power projection, which is hopefully going to be really useful long term. Because scout cruisers are just bananas. I think I might found a second navy. As we go along here, I'm going to start reducing the number of barracks that are loading monitors, because those jobs are going to be filled by those jobs in the new barracks, if all goes well, are going to be filled by the workers from the previous barracks, assuming things go right. So we'll get started with that, and we'll see how things go. Hopefully we don't wind up in a goof-up situation where some of our barracks are not able to hire. I would be very sad if that ended up being the case. In fact, let's scrap all the monitors right now. Obviously, that's going to lead to a short-term problem with our organization, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We're going to do the same thing once we get the upgraded, the dreadnoughts as well. Oil! Another oil rush. I'm going to encourage this trend because oil is the future. Shazam. Soon natural gas will be the future, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how things go. Electricity industries are continuing to be built. How profitable are these? Ooh, actually, let me look at infrastructure. Infrastructure is doing just fine in California. How profitable are the electrics industries around here? They're not as profitable as I would like. Mostly because of the high price of power. Got a new mandate available, but I'm not looking to switch up my mandate anytime soon. Power plants also can't hire due to the high price of engines. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to build 4 levels of railways. And to service our needs here, I'm going to build 10 levels of iron mines. 5 levels of steel mills, and 5 levels of motor industries, all here in California to keep prices low. I don't have any ability to provide coal supplies, but I can supply everything else. It's not going to be urgent. Mahar wants to give us foreign investment rights. I'm going to decline. Expansion of resource industries in Canada has started. The Navy expansion should be good to go at this point. Scout cruisers are having a hard time hiring. We'll increase the number of them. Curious. And we'll just throw those in at the top. Obviously, we'll continue to build up our number of power block statues for the moment, but we'll work on other things for the time being. Romania sides with Greece in its battle against a Greek revolt, which is just fine. I don't need to worry about this. Russia sides with Greece. Okay, if no one else gets involved, then we won't get involved we won't get involved either. We will not get involved as well. I was looking for an opportunity to oppose British interests, but obviously, with a truce in effect, I don't want to. There's not too many places I can go about that. So, unfortunately, Canada is blocking our relation improvement. Or, France is blocking our relation improvement, which is a shame because we should be friends. German Empire, we're rivaled with the German Empire, so that's not... Getting in good with them isn't going to help us. I'm starting to have doubts about my earlier decision to spread tech among my other subject states, but I still think it was the right call. It's Colombia and Liberty Desire. It's going down. That's good. Once we got our infamy down, it'll be going even better. I've got enough space to flex up my construction capabilities once again. I might build some levels in California, since that's kind of where we're building things out to begin with. What about Texas? Let's build a bunch of levels in Texas. We'll build in Texas, we'll build in Wisconsin. Let me see, where else? Tennessee. Build up Tennessee, and we'll build up Virginia. That's 20 levels, right? 22 levels. Slightly fewer in Virginia, and we'll just throw all of these. I'll throw all these at the top of the queue. I'll wait until the coal mines are finished. Obviously, this is going to cost me a pile of cash, but I've got the money. I'm paying very little in interest due to my happy petite bourgeoisie. So I really don't need to worry about it. Keeping the construction sector growing is very important for the long-term health of our economy. And the health of the economy is the health of the country, as we know from our capitalist ideology. Banjar is having a revolt that I can safely ignore. So, Russia, are you getting beat up by Britain? Did you already get beat up by Britain? They did. Britain's stealing more and more chunks of Russia even as we speak. Gosh darn it. Britain, stop doing that. Oh my gosh, they're both going buck wild. France, why do you have so much infamy? Who did you try to eat? Did you steal a bunch of countries in Southeast Asia? I think they may have done. Oh, Korea is free. It's free Korea estate. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's be reasonable about this. First, we'll declare an interest. I need to increase the size of my navies. My scout cruisers are still not hiring. What the heck is this? I need to increase military wages. That's what I need to do. Oh my gosh, that's so little. We'll do it. We're doing it. One day I'll pay the government bureaucracy, but I just love the economy so much. Let me see. The Louisiana Commune is having a revolt from the reactionaries. Well, that's not shocking. The Louisiana Commune, you seem to be... You better not be doing a communism down there. Aww? That's very funny. You know, we'll defend them for the time being. But there will be conditions, obviously. Brazil, how's Universal Suffrage going? Still at stage 1. No setbacks. We'll see how things go with that. Let's get those. Okay, we built the construction sectors. Still working on the power block statues, and those are going to be useful long term because influence is very important. Wild wells, blowouts, oil fires, and other lethal accidents are becoming more common in the hunt for oil in Nebraska, as the hunt for oil in Nebraska grows more ruthless. You think you've seen fire, but you've never seen fire like this, he said, giving the young man a stern look. And you better pray you don't, because if you haven't been out on the oil fields, the only place you'd ever see it is hell itself. Where there's oil, there will be blood, happier industrialists, salty trade unions, 20% increased oil industry mortality. Absolutely not. Pressure the owners to take a more careful approach. I'm going to pressure the owners. 10% throughput penalty, but mortality like that is not something I can live with at this stage of the game. I need to keep my population growing. It has been growing steadily, but I need to keep it growing. Literacy is rock solid. Where am I in terms of innovation? Yep, I'm maxed out. I'm maxed out. I don't need any more universities at this stage, I tell you what. 5 months to Dreadnought. Wow, we are researching tech really, really fast at this point. Oil in Manitoba, that's fun. Also, with Brazil having... Cuba relations are... Oh, I knew relations with Cuba are bad. Alright, I don't need to improve relations with Colombia anymore at this point. We're pretty close. Let's start working on Cuba. We gotta improve relations there. Because relations with Cuba are bad. Are bad to the point where it's making our block not so good. Let me see. Huh? Oh no, they're still working on universal suffrage. Somehow they became autocratic. Oh, because their stupid landowners are powerful. They couped the government and replaced the guy with a different guy. Probably. Prudente de Moraes Barros. Military dictatorship. Well, you better keep doing a universal suffrage, bucko. Or there's gonna be consequences. I'll replace the government again. I don't give a heck. I just keep replacing governments. You know how I am. I'm the United States. Let's go ahead and get this war kicked off. And that'll be the end of that pretty soon. With that having been said, yeah, 98 force comparison. That having been said, I'm actually way over time for this episode, so that is all we've got for today, my nerds. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.